What's happening with New Zealand immigration? And how can you get in? What is the best way to find work? And how can you maximize your chances to find work sooner? What are the things you can do to be effective? Let's have a look. I was given an email yesterday from a client. I'll call this client Rian. That's not his real name. Rian has given me permission to read excerpts from his email. This email is perfect. It will explain all those questions to you. And it's been so frustrating for me at times to explain lots of different questions coming from people. Listen, stop going to social media to get your information, and also stop talking to middle managers like me. I can help you connect directly to hiring managers and talk about job offers, which is your channel to getting in to New Zealand effectively long-term with immigration compliant jobs. That's the sort of thing that I'm going to come around to, okay? So here we go. Last week I received an email from a client. He is at the top of his level. This is sort of still an introduction now. This guy is a master plumber through civil, construction, industrial, residential. He covers a lot of territory on the top side. He's also, believe it or not, hands-on tools on the project side for training and support and actually getting stuff done when it's required. He starts off, this was May 18th last week. Hi Tate, great to hear you. What a ride it's been so far. Listen to this. I'm finishing off my position at, I'll just say a company in Australia, right? After 8 months. What has he been doing in 8 months in Australia? Working for a company. Here you go. It has been a huge learning curve and I gained a lot of experience from them. We just could not agree on remuneration and they acknowledged that they would not make an offer for me to immigrate. So I saw no further to chase work as cheap labor. Okay, that's an 8 months learning experience that didn't work out very well for a contract job in Australia. But what does it show? It shows that the character that we're talking about, this guy, Rian, has the ability to think and motivation to go get contract jobs on the chance that he can get in that way. We have a very proactive person with a lot of energy and willing to make it happen, as they say. So here's what we're dealing with now. Point number 2. In New Zealand, I've not stopped searching for work. I've had multiple job offers and I've lost them all. Signed contracts, employers applying for exemption. I had an employer from last year holding on to my signed offer until a month ago where he said he just could not wait anymore. Again, what does this show? This person, Rian, who's an exceptional performer in his trade, he is willing to go and engage direct hiring managers at employers that are willing to employ and communicate with them about job offers and even get them signed multiple times and then go through the frustration of having them declined even after the employer has applied for the critical skills exemption. He's still trying. All right, let's continue. Point number 3, in the last 2 months, I've been busy in and out of interviews with 3 different companies. That's in the last 2 months. Obviously, Rian has been getting some momentum here. So it started building. He didn't just get 3 interviews in 2 months. He's been building up things, his profile, and then his ability to engage and his contact base and his responses. And he's been working himself towards job interviews, and he's able to manage himself in this scenario now. This is his environment. He's swimming like a fish in this area. If you'd want to talk about getting work in the trades, this guy knows how to do it for the plumbing trade, no question about it. He's got the names, the companies, he's got the ability to communicate, he's already got the presentation materials prepared long in advance. That's what we do. We start off with that. We prepare the profile better than everyone else, bringing out and showcasing the strongest sides that you've got. And then we go to the implementation side where the selling is no longer a big issue. The big issue is getting responses on your profile, which is well prepared. Does that make sense? Prepared better than everyone else, focusing on the important aspects that employers want to know, whatever the trade is, whatever the discipline is. It's what employers in this side, on New Zealand, Australia side, want to know. All right. So reading on, I'm sorry, I interrupted that. I thought that's important to get out because many people don't understand the importance of how this is set up. You don't magically find work. It's set up with effort. The exemption is uphill for offshore visa closures. They all state that I need to stay in contact and update them when I may travel, but they don't understand without a job offer, I can go nowhere but wait. All right, so now he's coming up against the border, the barrier. So he's tried many times, we can agree many. It's many times to get to the point where you get written job offers and exemptions submitted and declined. That's the border right now. That's the barrier to get through. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. It's called critical exemptions because it is an exemption. It's an exceptional exemption. It's hard to find exemption for many categories of people. But let's read on because we've got some news here for you as well on that area. Point number 4, we're still reading from the email sent May 18th. That said, one company is still communicating with me and is also the company that has given me the highest offer so far. And it is more in my line of work and with future benefits in growing with the company. I just hope they stay on the hook as they have a very high possibility of getting my exemption approved. What is he talking about? If they're willing to apply for it. What is he talking about there? More on that in a minute. Now notice, is Rian in social media? You won't see him there. Is he debating the news stories that is coming out? He's not there. Where is he at? He's at the cutting edge of where decisions happen. And where is that? It's where the employer sits. It's where the hiring manager sits. It's where the business is pushing things forward. Now, there's a change coming into New Zealand immigration that will take place on November 1, and we're easing into that now. All these application processes having to do with immigration for the work to residency program is switching now. It's switching into the hands of the employer where it belongs. Does that mean that it's going to be an easy transition? No, of course not. Every transition is hard. This is a fundamental transition. But when it happens, it will be more efficient because the ones who are most interested in hiring are also the ones most interested in getting that approval. And it belongs with them to actually sit with the complete issue of immigration and hiring. So that's what we're switching over to, and we're in process now. So let's prepare for it. All right, let's continue on. Check this out. All right, I'm skipping a little bit of personal stuff here. I'm getting to the main issue here. I want to talk about the last 2 sentences of Rian's email. I must say I'm tired of this going nowhere. For me, getting job offers is not a problem. It's getting into New Zealand. Okay, when I first met Rian, we went through his background and I understood that he is an exceptional profile. It doesn't mean that I only work with people on his level. I'll work with anyone who has a shot at success in New Zealand. And unfortunately, that doesn't mean I can work with everyone. I just can't. I have to work with people who have a shot at success, a good shot at success. Hi, Tate. I have great news again. Spoke this morning to my new potential employer, and he agreed and wants to apply for my exemption. What is that? He's finishing up the contract and will send tomorrow. He also agreed to pay for our quarantine fees of almost $12,000. What a blessing. And now, just to align the rest of the stars and getting the employer to jump through all the hoops of immigration with us, I can say great news again because I've been here before and the exemption approval is like winning the lottery. But on the positive side, other critical workers, a worker is considered other critical worker if they meet one of the following criteria. Let's talk about the category of other critical workers. I'm reading from Rian's email. They earn at least twice the median salary a year, or they have a role essential for the completion of a science program, or, it's 2, their role is essential for the delivery of a government-approved major infrastructure project. That's 3. these are all three categories of the other critical worker, according to what Rian has communicated with his employer. And he says, I can pick two of these criterias as the salary offer is in line with and the specific project is a government hospital. So the item number one that I mentioned, the salary has to be twice the level of the median salary in New Zealand. It's done according to this contract, job offer. And the third one, the role is essential for the delivery of a government-approved major infrastructure project, which is a government hospital. That's the third one. And he says here, well, I can tick two of those criteria as the salary on offer is in line and the specific project, a government hospital, that they want me to start working on is approved major infrastructure project list. I believe this makes the chances for my border exemption being approved pretty good. The application just needs to be motivated as such and possible and as much as possible and proof of the government contract. There we go, folks. That's it. That's how to do it. Put the focus on the point where decisions are being made. You can't focus on the government side. It's just not possible. You can't focus on the news. There's nothing to do there. Social media's got nothing for you. Middle managers like me can help, but how do they help? Do they help you get to the cutting edge of decisions? That's what I do. I've been doing that for 25 years. So consider this. Middle managers are nothing more than a springboard to get you where you want to be, in front of the end hiring manager. That's where you want to be. Okay, that's the goal. So I'm going to answer my own questions that I asked at the beginning of this video. What is happening with New Zealand immigration? Well, we see there's some changes, right? And it's not comfortable, and it causes a lot of frustration. And my heart goes out to those whose families are divided and who've suffered from this financially in sometimes devastating ways. What is happening with New Zealand immigration is that there are changes, and the changes are in process, and the process is going to be at a conclusion November 1st. It's still going to be ironing out some details after that. But the best thing you can do is not focus on what's happening with immigration. The best thing you can do is focus on what's happening with you to position yourself for immigration. So let's answer another question. How can someone maximize their chances for work? So now we're getting closer, because the first question doesn't really apply, except it is news and it is impacting us, but it doesn't apply to the focus. What can you do to focus on immigration and being successful? Prepare the best profile you can, better than everyone else. Set it apart from everyone else. That's what I do. I've been doing that for a long time. So I've been helping 5,000 people get jobs in New Zealand. Most of them were locals. Now I'm focusing exclusively on foreigners for the past few years. The best thing you can do is prepare the best profile. And then the next best thing you can do, which is probably more important, well, it is more important, but both of them go together. Prepare the best profile and then engage the market like in an exceptional way that generates results, that generates meetings, that generates job offers. So I have the keys to both of those questions, and they're customized to the profile, and they're customized also to the sector of your employment in New Zealand or Australia. Question number 3, what is the best way to prepare for success? I think I've answered that. And what are my chances to get there? All right, the chances are up to you. The chances are up to you, what you've done. That's your past, that's your experience, that's what you're capable of doing. It's also up to you now in terms of what your motivation is and how badly you want to get there and what you're willing to do to step outside of your comfort zone and make it happen. If this is resonating with you as a message, send your CV to me, because I can help you do exactly that. Send your CV to me. I'll have a look. I'll respond within about a day. tate@employmentforimmigration.nz. And I look forward to seeing you soon. All the best, everyone. Take care. I hope this message helps you understand what's going on, whether you engage me or not for work, for support, is up to you. I wish you all great success and a fantastic journey to the place that you want to go, wherever it is in life where you want to go and achieve your future for yourself, for your family, and future generations. All the best and take care.